the substantial issues on PDAF. We submit, Your Honors, that PHILCONSA and LAMP do not bar the present petitions because 1, they operate on a different state of facts, and 2, the presumed conflict only arises if they are given an overbroad reading. It has been ruled that a statute valid at one time may have become void because of altered circumstances and changed conditions. Router v. Esteban. We submit that the present petitions do not operate under the same circumstances as PHILCONSA and LAMP. First, 17 years of collective national experience of executive and legislative experimentation constitute significant changes to the factual premise of PHILCONSA. The second circumstance is the COA report, Your Honors. The lack of a post-audit report by COA was used as a defense of PDAF in a 2012 paper or study by a former Speaker of the House. Well, there is one now. Perhaps, if the court at the time of PHILCONSA had a COA report available, it would have ruled differently. The third circumstance, Your Honors, is the fact that in the past 17 years, our jurisprudence on post-enactment measures has evolved, especially with Abacada versus Purissima. Only an overbroad and blanket reading of PHILCONSA, with due respect, Your Honors, would justify the observation that it is a blanket approval of pork barrel. The approval of the CDF in PHILCONSA, we submit, was confined to an evaluation of the law's textual formulation and the court's recognition that it was, at that time, dealing with an, and I quote, innovative system. The court decided to give it a chance, and indeed, PHILCONSA was the court's first exercise of judicial restraint on this issue, restraint that is no longer justified under the circumstances. We also submit that PHILCONSA just recognizes the political reality that congressmen and senators give advice and recommend all the time. For instance, politicians issue recommendation letters whenever there's a judicial appointment. PHILCONSA simply stands for the proposition that this happens, but it will never taint the appointment power of the President as long as he retains what is important, the choice of who to appoint, and no legislator can choose for him. We submit that a similar space be given to LAMP. LAMP turned on the presumption of constitutionality and regularity of functions, coupled again with the exercise of restraint. Hence the court's observation that petitioners lacked convincing proof to take a deeper look. Like PHILCONSA, we submit that LAMP not be read too broadly as a blanket approval of PDAF. Instead, as a nuanced exercise of deference and restraint. We submit that the COA report fills the gap identified in LAMP. Your Honors, I will now discuss the substantive issues assigned to me, namely the issues on PDAF. The PDAF violates separation of powers because it is a post-enactment measure that allows legislators to perform acts